Alright friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. Rob here. I'm with George, Jithin, and Naveen. We're continuing our conversation and the whole process about how to come study here in America. In this video we're going to cover TOEFL, the language proficiency exam that's really important here in America. Along with that you're taking with your GRE, your GMAT, the TOEFL is another entrance exam. We're going to tell you everything you know to do on that TOEFL to come study here in America. Check it out. Alright friends, thanks for joining us. Again, we're talking about TOEFL, the language proficiency exam. Friends, go ahead and introduce yourselves and let's talk about what it's going to help our friends do on the TOEFL.
Hi guys, I'm Naveen. I'm from Mumbai and I'm doing my Masters in Business Analytics here at University of Texas at Dallas.
Hi guys, my name is Jithin. I'm from Kerala. I'm doing my Business Analytics here.
Hi guys, I'm George. I'm also from Kerala. Again, I'm doing my Masters in Business Analytics here at UTD.
So TOEFL is something that everyone has to take in order to come study abroad here in America. Let's talk about what it is and what the 4 sections are.
So TOEFL is a very basic, non-technical exam. You are not tested on any technical sides. You are only tested on English proficiency. And actually there are 2 options like TOEFL and IELTS, which will take you to American universities. But most preferably American universities prefer TOEFL than IELTS. So I think we should be concentrating on TOEFL so that people who are looking really into American universities find it useful. Mm-hmm. So TOEFL is a very fun-oriented, easy exam. When you compare it to GRE and GMAT exams, it's so much easy. You don't have to storm your brains and all for this. It's just basic English that's going to be tested. Basically, TOEFL has 4 sessions: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So let's start with the basic one, that's the reading. When compared to other entrance exams like GMAT, GRE, and SAT and CATS and all, reading comprehensions in TOEFL is very easy. It's just they're going to give you a basic paragraph and they're going to ask you very basic questions that can be easily picked from the passage. I was amazed when I did my first mock for the TOEFL, because even if you don't sit and study for TOEFL a lot, you're gonna crack it very easily because all the answers are pretty much there. You just have to search for the keyword what this question is pointing to, take the answers from the passage and put it on there. When you have already done with your GMAT reading comprehensions, bet me TOEFL passages are gonna be super easy. You're gonna expect all basic questions like complete the sentences, or maybe like what is the meaning, what is a synonym word that is pointing to a particular passage, or like from the word from the passage. These are the basic questions they're going to test you, and if you have a basic knowledge on English, that would really just needed to get you into a good TOEFL score on the reading side. And you are not tested on any higher end English phrases. So what it really takes you to get a good score in reading section of TOEFL is that you just have to practice. I don't think you need coaching center books also. You just need the official TOEFL books which they are posted in their website. That would really get you a good score.
Cool. So after reading, what's next?
It's speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, speaking, as the name suggests, it's speaking. So what you want to do is you want to speak really slow and loud. You want to make it super clear. Okay, that's the main thing. You don't want to go too fast. Go so low in your sound. You want to make it super clear. And you have people sitting beside you while you're giving the speaking session. Just don't care about other people. Just do your stuff. Speak really, really clear.
I would say just use a headphone.
Yeah.
That will just cancel out
all the noises.
Yeah, just be super clear on what you're saying, and you don't have to deal with a lot of content. Your speaking session doesn't need to necessarily have a lot of content, but just be clear with what you say. Just be clear with your intentions, and I would suggest have a template, right? Because the questions will obviously be new questions. You don't get to know your questions beforehand, but you can always go with the templates because questions tend to follow the same pattern. So if you have a template, you don't need to waste time how to deliver your speaking session. So I think having a template really, really helps. And yes, speak very loud and very clear.
Just
don't make it too loud.
Yeah, just adding on to that point, like you people should be pretty much knowing that TOEFL doesn't make any person-to-person communication speaking sessions. It's all recorded in the computer. You have to talk to the computer in a mic, and that's why these people say you're gonna get a lot of noise from the sideways because people are gonna talk at the same time. So use a headphone on you so that you don't get disturbed with what others are speaking, because the questions tends to be sometimes the same for all or sometimes different for all. So it's obvious that you're gonna get clashing between what they are talking and what you're trying to speak. And also adding on to his point, like be clear and loud. Yeah, you'll be tested in a very first place. You'll be tested for your sound in the mic. You're gonna create a pitch of how loud or how clear you want to be. Like that session will be in the very beginning of the test. So once you have said that, it is your duty that you make sure that you properly talk into the mic so that computer can record this at the very first place. And also talking clear is important because the speaking grading is going in a two level basis, but the computer is going to grade you first. So it's very important that you make it so clear that the computer can understand your language. And the second thing is that the computer is going to be again taken to a higher level person, where a one-to-one person will be evaluating you. So as he said, content is not that important, but it's obvious that you should not tell something that is rubbish. You should always have some kind of logic in what you're telling. But when you have a template, for example, if I say, I know what I should start with an introduction, I know what I should pose my introduction and start talking about the subject. If you have this template, then it's going to be very easy because you don't have to sit and think on what you have to talk, because you get only 30 seconds to prepare your answer.
So basically, they'll be asking like a reasoning question. So they'll give you a situation and then they'll ask what is the scenario here. So you just got to speak about that. So that will be the general questions which will be asked.
Cool. It's super easy. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to normally talk just the way we are conversing right now. It's all easy, but make sure that you make it clear and loud.
Yeah.
So after the reading and speaking sections, what comes next?
So the next section is the listening section, I would say. So wherein you will be given audio recording, which can be anything. I got an audio recording of a professor actually speaking on a lecture. So after listening to the lecture, you will actually need to answer a few questions. So those questions are quite easy. You just gotta wear your headphones, listen to it very clearly. Those are quite easy questions. So what I did was, when he was actually speaking, I had a notepad and I had a pen. So I just jotted out all my points so that I could, even if the questions are asked, I can remember or I can read from those and give answers again. So that will be a tip for you. Just read it, just listen to it and write your points as soon as possible. That's
exactly that point, because many people say you just have to make the gist of the points, but I would suggest that write as fast as possible, because you don't know where these people are going to ask the question from. So once you start hearing, it is not that important that you understand what they are trying to talk. It's all important that you have to make sure you understand what the topic they are talking about. Maybe if I say we are talking about TOEFL exams, so you should have in mind that they are going to talk about TOEFL exam. Put that heading TOEFL exam as your main marker point. Then you go on with what they are going to speak. Try writing everything down, like what are possible, because they're going to throw questions like what was the professor pointing to this situation. So once you start writing down, you get a gist of things that they were talking, and you get, she was referring to this particular situation, and that situation would be there in the answer options. So it's very easy once you start writing down everything possible. I must say it's not important you have to know the entire conversation logic, what they're talking about, but it's very important that you know what particularly they are pointing to, maybe like the situation or that atmosphere which they are talking about. And it's also important that you know who are talking each other, because they mentioned in the very first that professor is talking to a student. And once you start covering your TOEFL books from the official side, you can find out that there are a lot of sessions in listening itself, because they're going to divide it like listening between professor and student, listening between two students each other, listening to some normal talk by some person. All these kinds of sessions will come up, and it's very important that you make a real quick note of all what they are talking about, so that it becomes very easy when they start asking the question on like what are they referring to, what was they talking about. And also you get only 30 seconds or something to answer these questions. So it's
what I did, I actually filled my whole page with the points. So I mean, you can do it.
You can do it. It's all legal. You don't have to worry about writing the test stuff. You can do that.
So then, lastly, after listening, is the writing section, right?
Yeah.
George, tell us about the writing.
The good news about writing, you don't have to worry about your handwriting. It's typing.
I must say that's a relief for me.
I have pretty bad handwriting, so that was a good news for me. So what you can do is, we can actually practice typing. It's really handy. It will come as really handy, because I didn't do that. I used to write and practice. So when it came on the day of the exam, I had difficulty typing. So I would suggest practice typing And again, there are templates, questions tend to follow a certain pattern.
Yeah.
So learn the templates first, practice typing, and try to finish it in the time frame given. So practice that, then I think it will be pretty easy.
Many a time questions will be very easy, but we fail to write it in the specified time. That happens because you don't have this habit of typing it very fast, because we used to write everything down in India for all the exams. So once particularly you're told to write about something, you start typing and you feel like it's not ending in the right time. So it's important that you practice on your typing skills, and that's most important, because content doesn't matter much. You'll be given like very easy instances to write about, and I'm pretty sure that you all gonna get good hands on writing on those topics, because it's very pretty easy things. So it's all important, as George said, improve your typing speed so that you can finish it off in the time allotted.
Timing is the key.
Timing, all right, it's all about the timing. So it sounds like TOEFL is the main preferred test in America, and the IELTS is more for abroad, other countries.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. Also, quick chat question, which one are you guys going to go for? As you're preparing to study abroad, are you going to take the TOEFL? Are you going to take the IELTS? Comment below, let us know. Are you going to take them both? Let us know.
Do that also.
Yeah, and see how it goes. We'd love to hear your thoughts and questions about that below in the comments. You guys, any other final tips or suggestions for people that are preparing for the TOEFL or IELTS?
I would say just keep calm.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's quite easy. Basically, if you know to converse in English, I would say it will be easy for you. So.
And also one important question that my friends ask me about TOEFL exam is like carrying your stuff to the TOEFL exam center.
Yeah.
You have lockers there. You don't have to worry about carrying any of your steps. You can carry whatever steps you want. Just make sure your mobile is in switch off mode when you are entering the test center, and your bag can be kept in a locker. They do provide. And always keep your passport ready, because that's the major identification they're going to take for the exams. So don't lose your passports. That's going to get you a big trouble there. So keep your passports in handy. All your bags and all the stuff can be put in the locker there, and everything is super easy there.
Awesome, you guys. Great advice. This is going to help so many people preparing to come here to America to study. You guys, thanks again for your advice.
Thanks, Rob.
I'm learning a lot. It sounds like it's really easy. TOEFL is much easier than GRE, GMAT, so don't worry. Just go do it. It's part of the process, but there's more important things that you really want to focus your time on. But you still got to do the TOEFL, and you'll be great. If this video is helpful for you guys, give a big like. Thanking Naveen and Jithin and George for their advice, having gone through this experience before you guys. Don't hesitate to ask us any questions. We want to help you guys be successful here in America, understanding different cultures and studying abroad. And don't forget to subscribe. We're going to have a lot more videos in this series to help you guys in your whole journey to come study here in America. Have fun. Cheers to that. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes.